Unfortunately, the photo that you are looking at is an all too common sight growing up in the South and having to learn about its dark history. And a lot of times we don't know the truth behind these photos. This is the case of Mary Turner. If you want to know more about this case, please continue watching.
You are watching Roll a Mile in My Shoes TV.
Can you imagine being 8 months pregnant and someone killing your husband? Well, I'm pretty sure Mary Turner couldn't either. And on May 19th, 1918, she had to come to this reality. And because she had spoken out against the white mob that lynched her husband the day before and promised to get justice on those people, she was hung from a tree with her head facing down, and she was then had gasoline poured on her, and she was still alive after they burned her. And while she was hanging from the tree still alive, they took a knife and cut her belly open, and her baby fell out of her belly. And when this happened, a member of the white mob that lynched her crushed her baby's skull underneath his boot. And then Mary Turner, she was left there to die. Her husband, Hayes Turner, had been lynched the day before, and Hayes Turner was working off a jail fine on a white farmer's farm. And this is something that a lot of farmers did back then, especially in small towns. They would bail out the black men who couldn't afford bail for the petty crimes that they were accused of. And on this day, when a farmer by the name of Hampton Smith and a man by the name of Sidney Johnson, a black a black worker of Mr. Smith's, got into a quarrel with him, and he was complaining about being overworked, and Smith and Johnson had, a fight or an argument. And so, I'm pretty sure Mr. Johnson, being a black man during this time, he probably had been overworked for days and days. So he was pretty much fed up with it. And I'm pretty sure he didn't mind working off the debt, to repay Mr. Smith. But sometimes enough is enough and too much is too much. So a lot of farmers, like I said, were known for paying off the debts of black men to get them out of jail, or the jail fees, so to speak. And they would work this debt off, as I previously stated also. And so Mr. Smith had been killed, and Mr. Hayes Turner, was accused in being an accomplice to this. So the white mob, being enraged by this, lynched Mr. Hayes Turner, and Mrs. Turner was grieving, and she spoke out against the white mob and the death, lynching her husband and her husband's death, and she promised to take legal action. And so the white mob that was, that heard this, they were enraged by by a black woman, promising to take legal action. And so they, um, despite her not being able to basically follow through on these promises, they decided to, make an example out of her and let people know that, hey, you talking back to us or you promising to take legal action against us or do anything at all to us is not going to be tolerated. So, sadly, on May 19th, 1918, they hung her from a tree, just like you see most people here. And they, like I said, poured gasoline on her, and then one of the members of that mob took a knife, cut her belly open, her baby falling out of her belly, and then the disgusting piece of garbage, whoever he is, took his foot and crushed the baby's skull. And the baby and Mary Turner both died. And unfortunately, this sight of a black woman being slaughtered 8 months pregnant, you know, reveals a great deal about the way in which black women were dehumanized in, the early 1900s and beyond that even. And some, most still even today. And unfortunately, this particular place in Georgia at the time was documented to have 594 racial terror lynchings, and this was between 1877 and 1950. And, it's really sad that, this happened. And just to show you how deep this history goes, this was back in 1918 when this murder took place. But yet and still, even in today's time, stuff like that is still happening in this particular county, because this is also the county where a previous case that I just did, which is the case of Kendrick Johnson, happened in this same area. And just like in Mary Turner's case, no one has been brought to justice even for his crime. So this area or this town has deep racial roots. And as you can tell, I mean, the it's like two separate worlds. So, the whites, and they stick together, and the blacks, they stick together. But I can say that there are good, people in the town. It's just that most of the town is like that, where it's divided. White people stick together, black people stick together. So it's pretty much been that way, and it's still that way till this day. And I didn't know that this was the same town or area that also has the Kendrick Johnson case involved. But I found out this when I was researching Mary Turner's case. And it was real shocking that, two different times in history can happen and be sort of big news of the time, but nobody really talks about it. And that's really strange. But, I guess they decided to make an example out of her. And this is what they did to show people that, we still have the power as white people, and black people have no power. I wish I could say that, these people should be brought to justice, but seeing as this was so many, 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 many decades ago, we know that everybody is unfortunately deceased now, and unfortunately there will be no justice for Mary Turner and her baby and her husband. But I hope and pray that those who were involved in, the murder of her and her baby and her husband, I hope she and her husband and her baby haunted them until the day they died. And I hope that the people who could have helped brought those people to justice also had no rest and no peace until the day they died, because I hope they were also haunted by the three of them, because this is just wrong. I don't care what time you live in. It shouldn't be this way because of the color of somebody's skin, how depending on how they're treated. It should be, if you're good, and you do good, you're treated, the same way. But if you're a criminal and you do bad, you should be treated as such. But unfortunately, black people did not have this, freedom or luxury back then. And I just don't get why these monsters, knowing that she had no legal right to be able to take any action towards them because she was black, decided to hang her just because her words enraged them. But I guess they felt like they had to prove that they were big, mighty, and powerful, and make an example out of a little petite, probably, black woman. And, they knew that her husband was dead, so they had to just take her out and, make it the most gruesome sight to say, hey, all of the people who decide to speak out against us, this is what'll happen to you if you decide to. But guys, if you like this video, please don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you on the next.